This is video 117, Empire Total War, United Provinces. We've taken Mysore. We have our large fleet now in the Indian Ocean. And having defeated a large, but albeit quite inferior Maratha fleet, we're trying to get back to our own port in Ceylon. Mysore doesn't have any ports, that is. We need to be in a port with a fleet, of course, in order to repair our vessels, so we're now moving over to Ceylon in order to repair our fleets. They can't reach it all in this turn, of course. Just looking around at the threats that are around from the Marathas. Nothing from the Mysoreans, of course. They only had this one area, the area of Mysore. They were strong allies of the Marathas, of course. Didn't take much for the Marathas to hate me anyway. They hated me already, I think. So, but these are my objectives, you know, to take parts of India. So Mysore is one place, Goa is another, Karnataka is another. That's the one right down at the bottom, and then Hindustan, right at the top, landlocked. That's going to be an awkward one for me. But anyway, here we go on our Indian campaign. It means that I can have a bit of fun with the fleets again now. The fleets, the European fleets, have got really quite powerful. So this is an opportunity for me to have a bit of fun. If you were to look at any of these ships here, you'd see how very, very good they are, and how powerful they are, and also how experienced they are. I know you can see that there are, you know, holes in the flag there. The more holes there are, by the way, the more damage the fleet or the army is. I've whacked through all the others. The Swedes, by the way, move a large fleet around the north of England. I've skipped all of that. Over to the Marathas. So we'll see what they're about to do. Looks like they're gathering. It takes 2 turns for my infantry that I've invaded Mysore with to replenish themselves, to become back up to full strength. So I really don't want to be engaging them in anything now. I really want them just to be... oh dear, here we go. Large Marathan fleet. He's got another one, goodness me, where's he got all these fleets from? He's put that in my port, of course, in Ceylon. Right, he's not attacking me, he's just moving past. He's nearby to the Mysorean capital there. I have the option to intercept, so I do that with troops that are, you know, fairly worn from taking the area in the first place, and I would lose the advantage of the fortification, of course, as well, something which I'm certainly not prepared to do, so we'll leave that. Okay, this is my gent. He's walked into, as the turn-enders warned me, a British army or something. It says he was blocked anyway, so... just going to go for some naval technology for the moment. Usual things that you've seen already about being blocked. Try and kill the priest. Stupidly go for the Westphalians. I hope that doesn't mean they're not going to like me anymore. And now we've got this large fleet to contend with in Ceylon. I've got nowhere to replenish my fleet, you see. There are no ports in Mysore. I need to be in a friendly port in order to repair all my ships. So, having already fought quite a large sea battle, where we allowed them to fire their ball at us while we captured their ships, we now have to go and fight another battle. Incidentally, I did this battle 3 times on auto-resolve, just out of curiosity to see what would happen. On all 3 occasions, I lost and came out with 4 ships, 4 or sometimes 5 from the defeat, from badly damaged ships. It really is not worth auto-resolving these. Anyway, I've put them in a line. The Floyd, that's the one that was at the front, would have just got in the way of my line of battle, so I've moved it off to the right. It's going to act independently. Its task is to slow down the line of the enemy advance there. You notice the wind's in our favour. You can see at the moment that it's going off roughly, what would you say, to the northwest? Or west-northwest perhaps. So, broadsides are our advantage. We're going to go all the way along parallel with the enemy fleet. And I'm going to use that Floyd there to block off the line of movement of his ships. He's got some lighter ships, he's got brigs, he's got sloops, so, and dhows or whatever, so that they could well run away and escape from me. I don't really want that to happen. What I'm doing at the moment is disabling the first ship so that they'll fire at the later ones, because the first ships are going to get a lot of fire anyway from the rest of my line coming along. I'm hitting with ball with my big ships there at the front to reduce his cannon fire. The idea is that all the cannons that he's got on this side, well, all would be marvellous, but certainly a significant number of the cannons that he's got on this side of his ships, on the right hand side of his ships, will be damaged or destroyed. So I'm actually inviting a broadside, and I'm doing that because I've now got large ships of the line. He hasn't. Notice how he's bunching there at the end. He's starting to turn back on himself. He's starting to sort of clump together. Never a good situation when you're fighting a sea battle. So my ship there, you remember what I've said before. In fact, I got a phone call while I was doing this battle from the CO of my regiment in the Seal Knot, and I had to say no, can't speak now, I'm right in the middle. Very complicated because some of your ships are firing balls, some are firing chain, and if you pause the battle in order to answer a phone, then you've got real problems because you just can't remember who's who and what's going on. There's a bit of catch-up time, and of course I'm playing this to record, so the last thing I want to do is spend lots and lots of time trying to find out again what everybody's doing. I like the battle to flow. So anyway, see how he's bunching up there at the end now because of my Floyd. The Floyd is not a fast ship. It's got pretty good hull strength, it's got decent firepower as well, so it should be able to suffer a bit of damage from those ships. So, while the Floyd is holding everybody up there, I can run my ships of the line all the way along, giving him a decent broadside. Like I said before, cannonballs to begin with, just to make sure that he hasn't got too many cannons to fire back at me when I start to break down his morale. What I'm doing now is selecting each individual ship, turning them round, because as I've mentioned a long time ago in this game, was it something like video 10 or something, a long time ago, it's actually quicker to turn a ship all the way around than it is to reload it. So we're turning these around now, and of course any hits that we've received on this side of the ship, or this side of these ships, won't be reflected on the other side because those cannons on the other side haven't received any hits. Of course, you have to be a bit careful now about turning the ships around so that they don't actually damage one another, you know, with the automatic fire on. So you can see how they're all turning around there now, individually. So I'll give them a bit of pain on this side as well. We're looking for mass damage this time. Now that they've got less artillery to fire back at us, we're a bit more confident about taking out their masts. Of course, you can fire across one ship over to another, sometimes even another one behind that as well. And he can only fire back with, say, around about a third of his ships there, because he's all bunched up now, of course. Hasn't got any big hitters, so we're not risking too much here in terms of loss of ships. We might be risking a bit of damage that's going to be complicated, well, not complicated, rather a little bit more expensive to replace afterwards, but the amount of money you're going to get back for ships like this is easily going to repay anything like that. Okay, we're coming to the end of this video. This battle will be continued and finished on the next video.